So we're gonna do some questions that are very commonly asked to doctors, nurses, pharmacists, and dentists. So here's the first one that I could think of, which is very, very common. What lab tests are necessary to order for a 24-year-old male coming to ER with cough and chest pain? As we can see, um, it talks about the chest x-ray, CBC, cardiac biomarker panel, troponin, and so forth. Sputum culture or CT scan are also needed. So this is something that a lot of the ER physicians can be helpful with. Another one of the most common question we see is, of course, what are some of the most common lab test order? And as you can see, these are all the lab tests that actually we see in the hospital, depending on what you go for. Another question that we see is, very commonly asked question, if the infection is upper respiratory infection that you may have going on, if it's bacterial or viral. So these are all the things that you can read and then learn from it and then determine if it's bacterial or viral. Sometimes it's bacterial, then it's leading into viral and vice versa. So it really depends. Another question that we can talk about is spread of infection. Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to re. I'm gonna copy this and then simply refresh it and then paste the question. Sometimes it does time out. So how can I prevent the spread of infection? Again, very commonly asked question. Basically there is posters and everything everywhere, but this is also very, very helpful. Another question that is also very commonly asked to all healthcare professionals is, how does stress affect a human body? So as you can see, basically stress has something releasing which is called cortisol and adrenaline, and then it can do all these things. So this is also very informative, very helpful to know. Okay. Then another question that we can ask is, how do you treat pollen allergies, which many of us suffer from? Okay, so as you can see, there's a lot of questions: medications, immunotherapy, nasal irrigation, avoiding triggers, wearing a mask, keep track of pollen count, and consult with an allergist. So these are all the good answers. These are all the treatments that we can do to avoid the pollen allergies. Okay. They also went into medications. Loratadine is the Claritin, cetirizine is the Zyrtec. So those are the two most common antihistamines that are available over the counter. Okay. Then we can do and here's a question for the ladies. And as you can see, the answers are medications, heat therapy, exercise, relaxation, birth control, acupuncture, and herbal remedies to treat the menstrual pain. Now we can ask about, the common pain that we all suffer from on a daily basis. So how do you treat everyday common pain? First and foremost is OTC, such as ibuprofen and Tylenol. Okay, then ice or heat therapy, topical pain relievers such as menthol, capsaicin, or salicylate. Exercise, okay, depending on, to improve the circulation or reduce inflammation. Massage, acupuncture, chiropractic care, and physical therapy. So these are all the viable options that you would actually get from a healthcare professional, depending on what type of pain you have. Okay. Then, what is the. So someone falls, they have a little bit of a wound, medical term it's called cellulitis, a cut, so how do we treat that? Very common in everybody. So the most important thing is, of course, clean the wound first, and then apply some over-the-counter antiseptic such as hydrogen peroxide or triple antibiotic, which I'm surprised they didn't mention, but that's the go-to therapy. And then, of course, once it's a little dry, then let it have some air. Okay. So similar question, how do you treat a dog bite? So of course you would do, similarly as if you have a wound, cleanse it, apply some over-the-counter antiseptic, and of course, go see a doctor, and then more likely they're likely to prescribe some antibiotics. So we can also ask, if you're curious and you're a healthcare professional, what medications are prescribed for it? So as you can see, antibiotics, pain medications, tetanus shot, rabies vaccination, topical antibiotics, and steroids. These are the things that are commonly prescribed for a dog bite. Okay, now switching gears a little bit, going into mental health. So can see it has basically all the mental health that are listed in the DSM criteria: anxiety, depressive, bipolar, schizophrenia, eating disorders, OCD, ADHD, postpartum depression, personality disorder, substance related disorder. Okay, now if we want to know how do you treat them, so let's ask, how do you treat them? Okay, so as you can see, medications, of course, depression, antidepressants, antipsychotics, mood stabilizers, and so forth are the main therapy. Then we can also do some CBT, which is the cognitive behavioral therapy, support groups, lifestyle changes, ECT, which is also one of the last resorts, hospitalization, and medication assisted treatment. So these are basically the way to treat all the mental health disorders. It gives you the idea in a very short form, but then of course you can ask it to expand on one of the numbers and you would get more information on that. Okay, another question. Okay, as you can see, how to prepare for colonoscopy. These are the steps that you need to follow And of course, your doctor would tell you the same, but if you want to do your homework, learn about exactly what to do, here it is. And of course, what is colonoscopy, right? It also tells you exactly the definition of it, and then, how you need to be prepared for it. Very commonly asked questions. Okay. Then Okay, so here it tells you exactly what are the two different types of diabetes, type 1 and type 2, and then it goes into details. Type 1 has to do with the insulin administration, type 2 has to do with the oral medication. And of course, you can expand more on it depending on, what you need to use. One of the most common medications for type 2 diabetes oral is metformin. Type 1 is different types of insulins. And on top of that, of course, you want to have a healthy diet, regular exercise, healthy weight, so that way you can manage your blood sugar levels and prevent any complications. So, very insightful on that. So now we can ask a question about my family has a history of heart disease. What, if anything, that I can do to prevent getting it? So here it tells you exactly what to do if you want to prevent possibly getting a heart disease, even though it may run in your family. Exercise, eat a healthy diet, maintain a healthy weight, quit smoking, limit alcohol, manage stress, control blood sugar and blood pressure, and get regular checkups, which is pretty much what your doctor would advise you to do. Okay, then. Okay, so now we can ask the same question about if you have high blood pressure. Now, do know that this is a very good reference of information. Of course, you have to check everything with a healthcare professional who is licensed. So you do need to talk to your doctor, okay, and then get all the information verified. Again, it's giving you a lot of information, a lot of general information. Maintain a healthy lifestyle, quit smoking, limit alcohol, monitor your blood pressure, manage stress, and here are the treatments. Of course, first of all, there are medications. The classes of medications include diuretics, ACE inhibitors, calcium channel blockers, and beta blockers. Then, of course, you can do lifestyle changes, monitoring, and then combination therapy. So, a lot of good information, general information about exactly what to do if someone in your family has high blood pressure. Okay, then now something for the dentist. What is a root canal and how do you treat it? Of course, one of the most common questions. Okay, so again, it tells you everything about what the root canal is and the process of how to actually treat it. Okay, so this is something that actually I went through. Of course, I knew a little bit about it, but an answer like this will give you a better understanding of it. Okay, then Here's a question for medical professionals. Benzodiazepines is a class of drug. So what I want it to do is list the one with the longest half-life at the top and then go down the list based on the duration of the half-life. Okay, so an answer like this can be helpful for many healthcare professionals because you can simply ask it to list all the possible treatments, and then if you want to list them in the order of the half-life, order of, let's say, which ones have the most side effects, or which ones have the longest duration of action. So basically you will get many answers. This would be your study guide. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you would like to see more videos like this, I will be definitely making more. Please like and subscribe to our channel.